Good morning, respected dignitaries and all participants present here. Taking this even further and to begin with very special expert talk organized by IEEE Chandigarh University Student Branch. Under initiative of TechAman 2.0, I on behalf of everyone present here heartily welcomes the inaugurator and the dignity of the seminar today, the guest of honor Anuradha Chawla. She is a certified coach, business consultant, author, life coach, business consultant, and academic advisor at Mittal Institute of Hospitality and Management. With utmost pleasure, I would like to take an honor and welcome ma'am. Ma'am, the stage is yours now.
Thank you so much, Yash. And thank you for the introduction. That was very elaborate. Thank you. So friends, today we will be talking about the importance of presentation skills. Now, we will be talking in the perspective that we are all online. So I cannot talk to you about how you feel when you have the audience live with you. Why is important? Why is it is important to have good presentation skills? Do you see what do you see on your screens? You see lots of books. You see my own book, okay, this side, right? You see a blazer, a little bit of jewelry. So this is all, what is all? All this is presentation. So friends, everywhere, right from a child to an adolescent to a professional, a housewife, everyone needs good presentation skills. Because without presentation skills, whatever you know is, it's a waste. It is actually a ruthless word, but it is a waste. All your degrees, everything you hold, it is only important if you are able to convey it, show it in the sense that the other person in front of you is happy to buy it, right? So by buying, I mean it's not a product or a marketing. Like I need a job. What do I need? I need to have good presentation skills so that the person in front of me buys my profile. Correct? If a student wants to get into a college or a school, there is an interview, right? If you want to get into a job, again, there is an interview. So everywhere, what is required is presentation skills. How do you differentiate between two people? I show you a pauper, I show you a doctor, I show you a lawyer. By the get up, what they are wearing. So today we'll be talking about all these aspects of presentation skills, whether it is your PPT, the Microsoft PowerPoint presentation you are showing, or it is the presentation skills, when you don't speak, your body language and your dress up speaks. So what kind of a dress up? Then communication, verbal as well as non-verbal. A lot of people start their presentations with an apology. No, never. Very important that you start your presentation with energy, with, your opening has to be amazing, brand and grand. Because when you say, you become your own brand, right? If a coach is speaking and I say that I have experience on international forums, you are only going to buy it if I broadcast, if I show those skills. Only the titles never help, right? So a lot of you will have to understand the entirety of presentation, your body language, the communication you do, your hand movements, your eyes. Like right now, when I'm talking to you, I'm confused whether I have to see in my laptop's camera or I have to see right straight. So Yash, probably you can say it in the comments whether I should look straight like this or in the camera. That will help me. Right. Yes, you want me to see on the screen or you want me to see at the camera?
Ma'am, it's better you can see on camera.
On the camera, right? There I
yeah,
make an icon. All right, Vaibhav, thank you so much. So friends, all these small things when joined together make an amazing presentation. Now, a lot of you go on YouTube you open a link, and within 2, 3, 4 seconds, you change. You go to the next video. Why do you do that? Because you don't buy the person on the screen. The content comes later. Whether you are connecting to the person, you like the dialogue, their dress up, their background, everything matters. Everything. So I have made a small presentation, curated it so that you all can see and understand from it. If there is anything you want to know further, I'll be more than happy to take your questions. All right. Here. I hope you can see my presentation now. Yep. All right. So this is a little bit about me. I'm founder and CEO of this company, Be Better HR Solutions. I started in 2018. I'm an international speaker, a startup business consultant, certified life coach, mentor with Startup Punjab, Startup Accelerator Chamber of Commerce, and a speaker with NITR, Ministry of HRD, Government of India. I'm also presiding as president for Wiki Group, which is Life Skill Council Punjab for Women Indian Chamber of Commerce and Industry. That's a little bit of the assignments I am doing. If you want to know me as Anuradha, I am a seeker, I'm a learner, I love to learn, and every presentation that I give gives me an opportunity to learn even more. So today we will be talking about the impactful presentations and how we can pave the way for an amazing, impactful, awesome presentation. Friends, good presentation is as stimulating as a black coffee and just as hard to sleep after. So I wish that this presentation, which we will be talking about today, is like a black coffee for you, and at the end, it makes you think. Friends, how we start a presentation matters the most. Your opening has to be grand and it should make your brand, right? So when you are talking to people, they should connect to you and they should know that this person knows the subject. This person is displaying, showing that I can improve my presentation skills by hearing him or her. So, as your opening is important, so is the closing. Because, as I said, it should not let you sleep after that. You should start working on your skills. After I leave you, after this presentation, you should think, now I want these presentation skills. I want to engage my audience with the slides and with my eyes and with my body language. So everything is important and we will go ahead step by step on each point. Now, opening and closing, important. That's what I said. So let's have a grand opening. I will show you this video and observe what you like in it. Here it goes.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir. Good morning.
Can you do it again?
Here you are. Have a nice flight.
Thank you. Okay, go, go, go.
Look at the energy levels.
Yeah, I found them. They are the X4.
Did you see that smile?
Welcome on board on your flight is in 501. We are fully ready for departure and enjoy your flight. Mr.
Sure.
Smith Jr., can you look outside, please? There's a surprise for you.
So, friends, what did you observe? I know that I don't have that medium where I can hear you or see your comments, but anything anybody wants to say through Yash or through Webber, you're most welcome to say. So here what we were seeing, the energy, and a keenness to make an impression. Friends, that's how you need to be motivated all the time while making a presentation. And while making a presentation doesn't just mean a PPT. It means whenever you are meeting somebody, you should have that best state so that you can meet and also make an impact on the person you are meeting, right? Mohan, आवाज नहीं. So friends, very important that you make an impactful impression on the person or the persons who are listening to you, whether it is an interview, whether you are doing a presentation, or whether you are attending to a lot of audience. If you are speaking to them, yes, everywhere. And most important, yes, whatever you are speaking, before speaking, think whether you make sense, whether you are genuine. So we have further divided think into truthfulness, genuinity, to helpful. Know whether you are going to be helpful, whether what you are saying is going to be helpful for your audience, whether it is going to be inspiring your audience. Is it even necessary, the point you're making? And be kind. You can't pinpoint your audience and say, look, this is how you are not supposed to dress up. This is how you are going to dress up. No, you have to be kind and make your point. Make people understand. This is what you want to communicate. And when you are saying H for helpful, friends, what do you do? To be helpful, you need to know your audience. Now, what kind of audience are you addressing? Very important, and I'm going to pick this up as
Hello, ma'am.
another.
Sorry to interrupt.
Sure.
Ma'am, your PPT is shared, but it's not. It's freezed.
It is
Freezed, ma'am.
frozen. All right.
Yeah, ma'am. Yeah.
Did you see the video I was showing?
No, ma'am. It was not visible.
Oh, you should have interrupted me before.
Actually, I was also not getting that whether it's my issue or it's connectivity issue from your side.
Oh God, look. Wait. Share screen and entire screen. Share. Do you see the screen now?
Not yet.
You don't see the presentation.
Is it a white screen?
Yes, it is.
Okay, ma'am. So it's visible.
Sure.
Yeah, sure.
All right. And now, what do you see on your screen?
Nothing as such.
Opening and closing.
You're seeing opening and closing, right? And do you see the video now?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Do you want me to show it again?
Yes, ma'am. It will be great.
All right. Now, if you don't see it, please unmute and say it, okay? Here.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir. Good morning. Here you are. Have a nice flight.
Thank you. Okay, go. Yeah, I found them. They are the H4.
Welcome on board on your flight is in 501. You're fully ready for departure and enjoy your flight. Mr. Smith Jr., can you look outside, please? There's a surprise for you.
now could you see this? Hello?
Yes, ma'am.
Rebels, Yash, was the presentation visible to you?
Yes, ma'am. It was visible.
All right. Okay, you can mute yourself. So, going ahead, as I told you, think before you speak. So, make sure that you are helpful to your audience and you inspire them. That is the best thing. That is the most important. Not every time we can inspire our audience, but make sure that you try your best level, be genuine, be thorough with your preparation, and try to be helpful. If you are helpful, you never know who all you will be inspiring. Okay, going ahead, importance of body language. Now when you are addressing your audience, the entire body speaks. It's not just your eyes or your hands. So we will start with legs. How should your legs be? Because that's taking the major part of your body. Friends, your legs should not be shaking. Your legs should be very stable and firm on the ground, right? You cannot, I'm not saying that you don't move at all in the presentation. Of course, you have to cover the stage, but you have to make sure that your legs are stable and firm on the ground. And whenever you have to make a point that you want your audience to remember, stand still, don't move, stop and make your point. Don't keep moving when you are making that important impactful point, right? That's how your legs have to behave. Your arms, your hands have to be open to the audience and not closed, because this means that you have a closed posture, that you are not willing to take the inputs from your audience. So make sure your hand movement and open, right? The posture should be open. If you see right here, the person is not showing this but showing this, right? That I'm open. A lot of time people say, okay, any questions? This means I am not ready to answer. I am not ready to answer. So never do that. Remember, when you are talking to your audience, have an open posture. Now, your eyes, very important. When you are giving a presentation, you have to make an eye contact with your audience, whether it is on laptop, online, live presentations like this, or when you are with the audience, live on the audience or online, right? Both ways, make sure that you have your audience connected, engaged through your eyes. All right. And of course, you can look around as well, not just staring, but a very humble, a very polite look at your audience. And you have to keep moving around. Your eyes should keep moving around, not stuck to one audience, one person in the audience, right? So, pretty much about the body language, your legs, your hands, your body posture open, your eye movement, and the eye contact, and most important, your smile. When you are talking to your audience, make sure you have a smile on your face and you look calm and composed. The presentation topic has to show on your face, on your aura, everywhere. It should show that this is what we are discussing today. Okay, all right. So friends, now very important that you have to be prepared on the topic you are going to talk about. Most important that you don't prepare one day in advance. You don't prepare 2 days in advance. No. Like, you are students. When you start your college life, make sure from day one you prepare on the topics, whether it is your presentation skills, whether it is your resume, or it is your interview. So from day one you have to start preparing, because then it becomes part of your personality, it becomes part of who you are, right? So presentation skills, as I said, a child needs it, a housewife needs it, a professional needs it, anybody, to the point even animals need it. Imagine, we have dog shows. What do? The dogs, they are primed and preen, then they are supposed to behave, in a certain manner. So presentation skills are not just for humans but for animals as well, right? That important. So whatever age you are in, this presentation skill is important to you. All right. So preparation starts anytime. Preparation starts now. How? You know how to behave, right? You know how not to behave. Like using a lot of hand gestures can be offending. A lot of time you are talking to somebody and their hands are like this. So this is an obstruction between you and your audience. Keep your hands low, right? Preparation, your body language, as I said before, your dress up. Now you have to know what kind of an environment requires what kind of a dress up. If you are going for an interview, if you're going for your formal meetings, a business suit or anything, a jacket is good. If you're going for an traditional, some ethnic program, then you can wear your traditionals and all your jewelry and all. But otherwise, for all professional transactions, communication, meetings, interviews, boardrooms, it is very important that you wear least of jewelry, very small and very subtle and less jewelry. You can't just have 10 finger rings or big huge danglers. No, it has to be very subtle and sleek, whatever jewelry you wear. How else you prepare? You prepare on the content, on the topic. If you know that your subject is if you're becoming a doctor, what do you need? You need to learn from day one about the subject, and whenever you are in that discussion, you should be prepared. And that is how preparation starts from day one, from now. Because, friends, as you see here, preparation is the key. If I had 6 hours to chop down a tree, I had spent the first 4 hours sharpening the axe. Do you get that? So what percentage? Mr. Abraham Lincoln has said this. So he says that 6 hours to chop a tree, then I will spend 4 hours sharpening the axe. What is sharpening the axe? It is learning, preparing myself for the subject. That important. So if you are prepared without, at the your blink of an eye, you can just say it. You don't have to prepare. It is just off the cuff. You know the knowledge and you are giving it. And friends, always remember, wherever you are putting your attention, wherever you are putting your time, your energy flows there and the results shows. So very important that you put all your energy in preparation towards your subject, because that will show in your career, in your relationships, in your life, always. Next is importance of time. Now we started at 11 and we must close at 12. That's the kind of time I'm talking about. Always make sure that you show up on your appointments, in your meetings on time. Make sure you are not ever late. And how you can ensure that? Always try to be half an hour or 15 minutes in advance. Show up. There is no harm. What happens when you show up before time, not the other parties are not there, you can make yourself seated, you can keep your stuff spick and span, and you're just ready to impress. You are ready to shoot. That's why it's very important that you are on time. And when you are on time, what happens? You are more prepared, more impressive, and not in a panic. You show that, yes, I am all settled and I am all comfortable to make my point. Next, a story. A story goes a long way. Very important that whatever your subject is, knit a story around it. You can start with your own story, because that ways people connect more to you. But story, very important. Like small stories. Like I'll give you an example of a story of porcupines. You know porcupines, right? जिनके तीखे तीखे से बॉडी पर feathers होते हैं. We call it feathers only, I think. Yeah. So spikes, kind of spikes. So the porcupines, once there were a lot of porcupines living in their habitat, and it so happened that it was a very, very, cold winter. So these porcupines were feeling very cold, and they were not understanding what to do to fight this cold, because porcupines were dying. So a lot of porcupines were dying. They huddled together to discuss what to do so that we don't, lose our friends. When they huddled together, because of being close, they could generate some warmth, heat. So all of them together, and they were feeling that, it was a little bit cozier and they will not die. But they were pricking each other because of their spikes and their, those needles. Now they said, oh my God, what do we do? When they are far, they are dying because of winter. When they are together, they are getting hurt because of the porcupine skin, needles, spikes. So that is how, friends, they decided that we need to together live and get through this winter. Friends, this is how relationships are, right? When we are together, there are problems in the relationship, like those spikes, those needles, but we live together, right? So please, always and always invest in your relations and live with the imperfections. So what did I just do? I narrated a story. I tried to make you visualize it, and I made an emotional pitch about relationship and how you should, work harder for your relationships. So this is how you can connect to your audience through the medium of story. All right, moving ahead, as I said before, know your audience. Now, if you are talking to professionals, you have to use stories, anecdotes, analogies, examples of a professional, a boardroom, probably employee and a boss. But if you're talking to your audience who is, let's say, children, they will not make sense to that boardroom discussion, right? You have to use that mentor and mentee, teacher and taught, pupil, that kind of a relationship. That is how you need to know your audience, and then accordingly you make your presentation as per them. Do you get that? All right. I know I'll not get a response. Vaibhav, Yash, can you see the presentation here?
Yes, ma'am, it is visible.
All right. Thank you so much. So, as I said, know your audience. Next is picture. Put pictures in your presentation, because when you see something, you remember more. If you remember the movie Drishyam, right? Drishyam. 3 अक्टूबर को 4 बजे, what did he do? He was making a print on, an impression on the minds of so many people, and he could trick so many people, right? If you remember the plot, if you have not seen the movie, see the movie. It's a very good movie, Drishyam. And I hope I'm saying the name correct. It is Ajay Devgan's movie. All right. So that is why a picture goes a long way. Friends, make sure you put pictures in your presentation and very less of content. If you put the entire content on your presentation, nobody is going to look at you or try to listen to you. They will all be engaged, busy in reading what is there on the screen. So make sure that you don't put a lot of content on your presentation. And most importantly, engage your audience. How do you do that? Friends, ask questions, take responses, and compliment them. Very important. And when you are complimenting, you have to use the right language. Very important. I have seen a lot of people, they embarrass and kind of humiliate the person they are complimenting. How? You look so cute, you look so beautiful. I think you can actually improvise it. You look fabulous. Or if you can actually minus the word look also, that is what is required. Now this how cute, how beautiful, I don't think this makes the other person, and especially the fairer gender, very comfortable. So you have to keep your compliments very professional, like fabulous, super, the presentation was awesome, really amazing, very well done, what a talent, learn it. These things are required. Even to start with a small talk, very important that you engage with your audience in a way that they are impressed, they are engaged, and they are learning from you. I hope I'm making a sense to all of you. Most important, because I understand that my audience will be more of students here. When the campuses happen, the campus interviews, the placement drives, a lot of students, they ask questions like, what will be the package? No, you're not supposed to ask the package, because before even the corporate shows up, they give all the details of the packages they are offering. So you can rather check with your training and placement officer than asking your interviewers or the panel. So very important that when you are talking to your audience, make sure that you are only and only talking about knowledge. You are sharing. And because you are at such a beautiful stage of your life, your most important value is chasing after knowledge. Learn any topic. I am sure that all of you are not going to go for marketing jobs or sales job or even front end jobs, frontline jobs, where you are supposed to talk to audience or be a public speaker or be facing lot of people. You can be on back end also, but even then, even at the back end, your presentation skills matter a lot. Because when you are prepared, when you know the subject, you have the hard skills, what is required? You need to talk to the person and show that this is the skill I know. How would you show that? By your presentation skills. So all we covered, whether it is your dress up, or it is your body language, or the words you use in communication, or when you make the first impression, or when you make the last impression, everything together forms your presentation skills, and very very important for your success. And who doesn't want to be successful? I'm sure all of you want to be successful. So that's why I say chase knowledge, numbers will always follow. When I am in a more informal setup, when I know my audience, I say you chase knowledge, पैसा झक मरा के पीछे आता है, right? So paisa will always follow. Don't worry about the pay packages you are going to get, because friends, you need to focus on what you are becoming. You're becoming truthful, genuine, honest, presentable, prepared for your future. When you are focused about all that, what happens? Of course, you become successful. And that's what you all want to do. And friends, when we have such forums, when we communicate with each other, what do? We light a candle to in each other so that we are more enlightened, more knowledgeable. And that's why I wrote, be a candle in the midst of pitch dark. Be the torchbearer amongst all the chaos. Start with yourself and then lead everyone. You start, you learn, you showcase, and see how you will be making that effect, that ripple effect on everyone around you. Today, you become learned, you showcase that yes, you have the skills, you are prepared, you are knowledgeable, and you will present amazingly. And see how your network and the people around you will learn and showcase the same. I hope I am on time. Yes. Okay. So that's pretty much about the presentation. I will hide the presentation now. Okay. One sec. Stop sharing. Wonderful. All right. Hi, Parachi. How are you?
Hello, ma'am. The way you spoke, ma'am, your hand gestures and the presentation itself has given us a lot of impact on us, and definitely it was a black coffee for us. Now
All right.
coming, yeah. So now coming on to the question and answer session, our audience, our participants have questions to ask from you.
Okay.
So
Yeah, please go
the
ahead.
first question is from Komal Joshi. How do I overcome a tendency to say,
All right. The most important thing which we do all the time, but we forget when we are presenting. What is that thing, Prachi, which you are doing right now? Unintentionally, but you're just doing it. And Yash, you also actually. What are you doing right now? You're breathing, isn't it? So
Yes,
what
ma'am.
you can do is, most important, make a point and zip it up. What happens most of the times, we, in that exuberance or in that nervousness, we answer right, but after that we start making further attempt to answer it. Not required. When you are making a point, understand silence is very important. When you are silent, people give you more attention, right? So instead of saying uh, or like or basically, this is what I have seen in all the students. The guys say basically, the girls say basically, and generally, and minus these. These are not impactful. These are not impressive when you are making a point. So instead of try to zip it up and silent, right? I hope it will help you.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Next question is from Sheetal Gaur. How do I addresses a hostile group? Sorry, it's hostile group.
Hostile. I am wondering, Sheetal, why that question and where does this hostile group comes from? Probably I am taking it as the peer group who is kind of, not kind to you. Hostile, probably that's what you mean, because hostile is I would say, a little pungent and extreme. But instead of hostile, let's say unkind group or people who are bullies. Because Sheetal, I have been on your side of the table, because I have been bullied in my school life as well. And I understand, there are groups even in your relatives. I have had a low self-worth growing up because my own relatives called me names because I wasn't beautiful for them. Everyone has their own definition of beauty. So for them, my complexion and my face was not very soothing or beautiful. So that could be the hostile you are referring to. So back then, I wasn't that equipped, and I was also chatting back and giving them the same medicine what they were giving me. But now I think a very very good way of dealing with such hostile, unkind, and such people is ignoring them. I'll give you a very small example. Let's say you are driving and the car in front of you is leaving a lot of smoke. Okay, so what do you do? Do you keep honking or do you stop the car and start fighting? What do you do? Either you overtake them, right? Or you make a distance. So that is how such unkind, toxic people need to be dealt with. Make a distance from them and stand up for yourself. If you feel that the group you cannot ignore, you cannot make distance, then stand up against them. You can tell them that whatever you're trying to say or trying to do, does not go with me. I'm not your person, so don't deal with me. You can simply say. I don't think that it is every fight is yours to fight. If there are unkind people, we can just ignore them, because what happens if you get down to their level, then there is no difference between you and them. So God bless you, Sheetal. Thank you so much for this question, and I hope that you don't have to ever deal with such hostile groups. Thank you.
So next question we have, how do I deal with stage fright?
Interesting. How do I deal with stage fright? One, you can do one thing. I said preparation. Now tell me, if you are good at something and I make you stand on a stage and talk about it, why wouldn't you be impressive? You know so much. You know so much more than the audience. You will be impressive, right? But again, stage fright, there are a lot of technical ways also to deal with it. One is making a power pose. When you have to make a presentation, when you have to go on the stage, make a power pose. You know, this is the power pose, right? Yes, I'm the best. Make that power pose. Two, prepare well. Three, tell yourself. There was a movie I saw, John Ibrahim. So he used to say in the mirror, "You're the best, you're the best, yes, yes, yes." So do like that. In the washroom, go at the backstage and tell yourself, "I'm the best, I'm the amazing person, I will do amazing." And a lot of people like Tony Robbins, like Arfeen Khan, my coach, I have seen that, before they go on the stage, they will either come running. So what will they do? Generate energy. And Tony Robbins, he has a small trampoline. He will jump like crazy on that trampoline, and then shoot, he's on the stage. And the kind of energy he brings, mind blowing. That's what 3 tips I could give you.
Next question. So we have, ma'am, should we make a not real story ourselves to impress others?
No, don't do that. See, I said, my first slide said be truthful, right? Think is T for truth. Be genuine, because when you are genuine, you connect to your audience, you engage with your audience. And you know what? There are so many stories. All those who are talking to me right now are probably in their 20s, if not 20s, 19, but I think they are all 20, because at 19 you join your college. So for last 19, 20 years, 2 decades, how many incidents have happened that can relate with the discussion, with the presentation? So you don't have to knit a story which is not true. If you are sharing your own story, then you can share incidents. If you want to make a story, then you make a story, right? Be a storyteller. Like just go ahead and start talking. If you are on a stage and you want to engage the audience, start making the story. Or before the presentation, you make your stories. There are stories, a lot of stories available on internet also. So if you are presenting, you can do that as well.
Next question we have, how can I be better prepared to speak off the cuff?
Off the cuff. See, when you are, as I said, if you remember, my first discussion was about preparation. When you are preparing all your life, when you are seeking knowledge all your life, what happens? You're always prepared, right? Then you can speak off the cuff. For that, if I may say, look behind. Of course, you see a lot of books, right? So keep reading. When you keep reading, you learn. And when you learn, you have all the data here. So what happens when you are in front of the audience or in a boardroom or in a discussion with a group? Automatically your knowledge starts showing. So for always being impressive and always talking, being prepared कि ऑफ द कफ मैं बोल पाऊं, उसके लिए आपको नॉलेजेबल होना पड़ेगा, उसके लिए आपको पढ़ना पड़ेगा. Like the book I wrote, This is the book I wrote, Life Lessons by Coach Anuradha. I would say that you must actually read this book. So what is this book about? It has 7 topics: self love, self improvement, womanhood, life, relationship, silence, and transformation. So, what all of you need is to transform into your best self, right? So, that is what I do. I give discovery sessions and I coach people to become their best selves. So, what you are doing right now is you are making it easier for me to achieve my target to transform lives. So you are doing that for me. Friends, read. When you read, you can talk off the cuff anytime.
Thank you so much for answering that. Next question we have: even if I try to be strong and conscious on what I say, still I end up with blank while presenting. Any suggestion on it?
See, you have already made a point that still I end up कि हमेशा ऐसा ही होगा. So I will tell you a small story on this. Once there was a girl who was a very good runner. So she practiced like crazy for her marathon, for her championship, for the race. And she was very confident that she's good. But while she was running, she saw that her competitor was another runner who was a champion for last 2 years. So what just happened? She started having those defeating thought in the back of our head. Our there is this voice which always keeps telling us, you can't do it, you can't do it. So you have to stop that inner voice which tells you कि आप भूल जाओगे, you will not remember it, you will not make a good presentation. So there is something which is stopping you all the time. Friend, please understand, you are coded, hard coded that मेरे साथ ऐसा ही होगा. So you need to change your negative coding to your empowering coding. That's what I do in personal coaching sessions. I change your negative codings to a positive coding. So try and understand that you are having those defeating thoughts way beyond you have even presented. So you have to change your thought process to be impressive, to be better and give a good presentation. Understand it. Okay. Thank you.
How to overcome shyness?
Roshan, you are shy? All right. Okay. So being shy is not something you should be ashamed of, that I'm shy. No. Being shy is good. It is fine. It is your humbleness, it's your sweetness. But when you have to talk to someone, when you have to actually give a presentation like we are doing right now, then you understand this is the work part, right? Being shy is otherwise fine. Being introvert is otherwise fine. But nothing stops a shy person to sharpen the X, right? To learn more, to be knowledgeable, to read more. Nobody stops you. So keep learning all that. And as I said, 3 things before you come on the stage, or before you enter a meeting room, or before you go and talk to your audience: make a power pose, make your energy level high, right? So what was the third point? I don't remember now. Energy, power pose, and say, yeah, positive affirmations that I'm the best, I'm the best. You will be able to present. Shyness and hesitation is all about that. Or you take coaching from any life coach. I'll be more than happy to coach you, but come out of that shyness that stops you to be your best self. Yeah.
Next question we have from Shruti: what to do for better communication?
Read, read. Read as much as you can, and read novels, read these self-help books. This one will go in self-help category, although, but read any book. Start with Robin Sharma's books. They're very good. Who Will Cry When You Die, Leadership, Wisdom, and there are a lot of books, and you read Jeffrey and Archer, Cain and Abel. There are a lot of interesting books. Read them and you will improve your communication. You are on Netflix, right? All the students I see, they are very much into Netflix or Prime channel and all shows. Go for positive, go for English shows, right? So this is again another thing you can learn. You can improve your English. Talk in English. Practicing makes you better. So all the time, just my principal when I was a kid used to say, eat English, speak English, dream in English. So he used to say like that. That's how we used to learn. And then he said, learn to care, share. So then we got to know, okay, it's not care, it is care, it is share. So that's how he used to say it. I remember, and all thanks to Lali sir, that we practiced English after that. Yeah.
Next we have, is it right to mention quotes of great personalities in our presentation?
It is very good. It is very important. And thank you so much. What was her name? Ankita. All
Ankita
right.
Singh.
So thank you so much, Ankita. Very good point. And actually, I missed it in my presentation. Always quote great personalities. I mentioned Abraham Lincoln, if you see. So Abraham Lincoln has said about preparation. So very important, because what are we? We either we learn from our own experiences or we learn from experiences of the great personalities we have had encounter with. So not important that you always meet these people, their books, their autobiographies, their quotes help us make a point. So very good and very important. Yes, make sure you use them.
Next question we have from Zubair. How to practice English speaking skill when you don't have any partner?
All right. Speak to the mirror. All IVR phones, Domino's, Pizza Huts, Taco Bell, and all these people, when you call them, you speak in English. Call your, a lot of such, uh, they are available, right? Karachi, help me, or what all other phone lines are there? So call Zomato, call service centers, Apple, Microsoft, talk to them. So you can practice English like that. Talk to the mirror, the most easiest. And one other important thing is when you're watching a show, you see the delivery of a dialogue, pause it there, and then speak the dialogue. That's how you practice English. So you don't need to have a partner. All right. So that which is not helpful. Okay. Move ahead.
Next question we have from Janvi. How to overcome the fear of facing audience?
Fear of facing audience. All right. Why do you have that fear? Janvi, if you can tell me further, why do you have the fear of audience? When you're talking to an audience, you should know that you have the subject knowledge and you will be talking to them. So they are there to listen to you, right? At the max, they're going to ask you a question. At the max, you will not know the answer. And you can say, I'm sorry, I don't know. I can get back to you. Why fear? Fear is just very hypothetical. I don't know. You have to fight with this fear, and for that you need transformation. You need to understand the coding which has happened here and then change that coding. Somewhere you have been coded in a way that you feel talking to an audience is fearful because this will happen. So why don't you do one thing? Take a pen and paper and write down, talking to audience is fearful because, write 10 reasons why it is fearful. I can really help you get out of that fear if you know those 10 reasons. So do that introspection, you will come out of fear. Next question.
All the questions are over, ma'am. I think our participants have got the best out of this session. Thank you so much. I would like to present my screen.
Sure. Thank you so much, Prachi and Yash and Webhoff. It was great talking to all of you today.
So, ma'am, this is a small token of appreciation from IEEE Chandigarh University student branch. Thank you so much for taking out your time from your busy schedule and sharing your knowledge with the participants. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you so much, darling, and thank you so much, all the students. It was really great talking to all of you. Love you all.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you.